All right, let's dive into something huge that just happened. The US government is officially bringing its core economic data on-chain. We're talking about a direct link between the world's biggest economy and the world of decentralized finance. And trust me, the implications here are massive.
So what really happens when you take this incredibly powerful, official government data and smash it together with the decentralized world of crypto? Well, you get a chain reaction. And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. And here it is, the big headline. The U.S. Department of Commerce has officially partnered with two major Oracle networks, Pyth and Chainlink, to make this all happen. This is a first. It's the first time the U.S. government is using decentralized networks to get its core economic stats out to the public.
Now, as you can probably guess, news this big doesn't just, land quietly. The market's reaction was instant, and for one of these networks, it was absolutely explosive.
So both tokens jumped on the news, but the reactions really tell the story here. Chainlink's Link token, it saw a nice, respectable 5% pop. But Pyth, which is the newer and smaller network of the two, saw its token rally almost 50%. You see, for the market, this kind of government stamp of approval is seen as way more of a game changer for a rising player like Pyth.
And it wasn't just about the price. Get this, Pyth's trading volume exploded by 2,700%. I mean, that just shows you the insane level of widespread interest from traders who were scrambling to get a piece of the action.
You could feel the excitement everywhere. Over on X, you had people like Ajay Kashyap pointing out the intraday peak, a 70% skyrocket, which just goes to show you the raw power this kind of fundamental news has on the market.
Okay, so let's look past the market hype for a second. What does this partnership actually do? I mean, what kind of data are we really talking about bringing into this new digital world?
Right out of the gate, they are not messing around. Chainlink is providing 6 key current data points, things like GDP and the PCE index, across 10 different blockchains. Meanwhile, Pyth is focusing on building out a really rich historical foundation with 5 years of quarterly GDP data.
And if you're wondering how this is even possible, well, it's all thanks to these Oracle networks. The easiest way to think about them is as super secure bridges. They take real-world information, like an official government GDP report, and deliver it reliably onto the blockchain so that smart contracts can actually use it. They're the absolutely essential link in this whole chain.
Look, this is so much more than just publishing some numbers on a new website. Bringing this data on-chain fundamentally changes what we can do with it. It unlocks a whole new future for finance and really for technology itself.
This right here, this is why it's such a big deal. Now, developers can build financial tools that were literally impossible before. Imagine DeFi protocols that automatically adjust interest rates based on official GDP figures, or prediction markets for inflation built on data that you know is tamper-proof. This allows for way smarter trading, new kinds of digital assets tied to economic health, and public dashboards where the data is 100% guaranteed to be authentic.
This quote from Pyth Network really just hits the nail on the head. The whole goal here is to open up new frontiers that are built on trust. By making this data accessible and composable, which is a fancy way of saying it can be easily combined like Lego bricks, it lets developers create financial tools we haven't even dreamed up yet.
So the biggest takeaway here is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound. What this move really signals is that the US government is starting to see blockchain not just as some niche crypto thing, but as a critical piece of public infrastructure for getting its most important data to the world. That is a massive vote of confidence.
And that leaves us with this one last really powerful question. Pyth itself called this the first step to rebuild the data infrastructure of the United States. Think about that. Are we actually witnessing the very beginning of a complete overhaul of how a government shares its most critical information with all of us? This partnership seems to suggest the answer might just be yes.